of the biggest food shortage and food crisis in human history. We have still 800 million people that are hungry. We have still 350 million people that are starving. And I want you to look at pictures like these. And really, when I look at them myself, I feel depressed. I feel helpless. Like this. So I think disaster after disaster after disaster, we are sinking down. We are not coming out of this situation of malnutrition and hunger. In the last few years, we have seen a global pandemic that has ravaged the world. We have seen emerging conflict in so many parts of the world. We have seen also climate change that is accelerating and showing us how bad it is in different parts of the world. And this is bad for all of us. But imagine how bad it is for a woman that doesn't have food for her kids. So definitely the impact is much worse for those communities that are vulnerable. So I really hope that as we are looking to those pictures, we are all striving to stop it and stop it now, and particularly stop malnutrition. And that's where the science comes. Science is the hope. Science is part of the solution. And science, technology, and innovation with a broad innovation spectrum. It's not only technological innovation. It's policy innovation. Innovation, it's institutional innovation, it's societal innovation. This is the solution, and that's what Cgiar, that's why Cgiar exists and continue to thrive. Cgiar was created about 5 decades ago. And it was created to provide small-scale producers in the global south with technologies and solutions. And you'd ask yourself, why small-scale producers and why in the global south? Because they are the most vulnerable to all the crises I mentioned before. Because they didn't get enough support so far. And yet, they are producing 85% of the food we have today. So basically, if I make it in a lame language, the small-scale producers in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, have kept the planet alive. And that's where Cgiar has grown over years. So our mandates have changed from a commodity on agroecology to a system. We have come together with partners to bring solutions, and we have been always working with national systems. I want to take the example of our work with Kenya, for example. And as you see here, our work, the Science Week, is co-hosted by Calgro. We are working with Calgro hand in hand, and we welcome His Excellency the Minister. Thank you very much for joining us. So we are working with Calgro hand in hand, complementing each other and not duplicating. And you're going to see over the week a lot of examples of how we are working in Nigeria with the national system. Thank you very much, President Goodluck, for being with us here. We have examples from Guinea. Thank you so much, Your Excellency Biavogi, for being with us. We don't work in Mauritius, but we work in other small islands, Timor-Leste, for example, and thank you for being with us, Your Excellency Amina Gurib. And much more. Thank you very much, Mayaki, Your Excellency Mayaki, for being with us, and we do work in Cgiar, and we are very happy to do so. But we have examples from India to Tanzania to Peru to many, many countries, and I want you really to listen and take part of the discussion as we are bringing those solutions to you. So what have changed since we started working? And before I move to that, the work with the national system gives Cgiar relevance. It gives us context fit. It makes sure that what we are doing is for the countries, implemented with the countries. And that's very important, and that's one of the reasons of our success. We have seen a big shift. I think the shift happened mostly with the United Nations Food System Summit in 2021. And the shift is that there is a recognition for the importance of the agri-food system, the importance of the food, land, and water system. It got compounded, and we are very thankful to to United Arab Emirates that got it in food and it brought agriculture. So finally, in the global agenda, as people are affected by climate change systems, but most of the time the very negative are destroyed. They tell us that and that we are using is that we could be more lands and oceans can do more towards us. We could be we could bring those and we can only by what that's where part is very important. But exists without partnership, evidence combine, as I said, innovation on technology, on institutions. And it has on very important. We could solution set in working with you. Right, is that science have seen a leapfrog really in terms of development. Look at AI. Only 5 years ago, or quantum computing. 5 years ago, we couldn't do what we do today. Look at nanotechnology. They have and it's all about use of malnutrition. I go back to children. I think any I'm optimistic. I want to for action to all of you. And I want to really talk to you. If you are a funder in the room, and I see many of you here, please fight supporting our mandate. If you are a partner, keep working with us, because without you, we can't make it. If you are a farmer, please engage with us. I didn't talk enough about the knowledge, the local knowledge, indigenous knowledge, but farmers are very important. We rely on you as farmers, and we need to really continue. I'm happy I see many youth here. I used to have a girl from the south to the north, proudly
Cgiar and national institutions, particularly building innovations that uplift our farmers and communities. This Science Week comes at a time affecting food insecurity, shrinking natural resources, and demand for sustainable livelihoods. We believe that solutions lie in research, collaboration, and collective action. It is therefore encouraging to see the convergence of such formidable expertise under one roof, sharing knowledge, generating ideas, and forging partnerships that will shape the future of agriculture. As we deliver over the coming days, let us be inspired not only by science and data, but by the lived experiences of the smallholder farmers who depend on these innovations. Let our discussions be driven by inclusivity and urgency. And now, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome our chief guest, His Excellency Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary of the Republic of Kenya, indeed a distinguished and champion of sustainable development, to officially address and open the Cgiar Science Week 2025. Karibu sana, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Mweke. Your Excellencies, good luck, Jonathan, former President of the Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Amina Goab Fakmi, former President of Morocco. Bovigui, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Guinea. Your Excellency, former Prime Minister of Niger and African Union Special Envoy for Food Systems. Your Excellency, Dr. Abhawa Bangura of the United Nations Office in Nairobi, and the Gulf who moved to the north. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a great honor and privilege to represent His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, during this opening ceremony of the inaugural consultative group, National Agricultural Research Science Week 2025. He himself is, in fact, the first scientist president that Kenya has had, and he would have really liked to be here. So let me pretend to be a scientist for a minute. Proud to host this lunch focusing on innovation and partnerships for food, nutrition, and climate. Brings together the own minds, natural research, innovation, and policy. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the government and the people of Kenya to welcome you all to Nairobi, especially those who are from across Karibuni, Kenya. Enjoy the alluring beauty and hospitality of our country, the humanity, and a hub of innovation in agri-food systems. It is also befitting Cgiar, Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, CALO, and the International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, and all owners who have organized this distinguished forum. theme of this year's assembly is timely, considering the unprecedented environmental and food security that the world faces today. The only way forward is through science-driven solutions and multi-stakeholder partnerships. Agriculture is the backbone of Africa, providing employment to over 60% of our population, significantly contributing to national output and ensuring food security for millions of people. The sector faces immense challenges from climate change and extreme weather conditions, land, soil infertility, food insecurity and malnutrition, post-harvest losses, and limited access to technology, and investment. This Science Week opportunity to now to challenges is a call governments, research, private sector, and chart a new path to enable agriculture and resilient food systems and countries. Kenya is proud to host this global forum. Our collaboration with Cgiar dates back 5 decades. Beginning in the early 1990s, Kenya hosts staff from several IAS, Livestock Institute, Biodiversity International, Research Institute for Tropical Water Institute, National Rights State Center, National Maize Improvement Center, topics, forestry, partnership institutions, national governments, cities, the groundbreaking such scenes, drought, variety, stock breed, smart advice, policies, transform the farming, transform sector, index-based that help such capacity have been world such at the scientists have enhanced the agricultural and in economic transfer agri-food of economy. Believe in this sector will drive poverty and creation, improved life and safety, gender equality and inclusion, and climate change adaptation and environmental sustainability. Kenya's agricultural sector transformation and growth strategy and the Kenya Climate Smart Agriculture Project are just two examples of initiatives aligned with Vision 20 and the United Sustainable Development, ensuring that the task ahead between government policymakers, private development use the first collaboration Hillary and its partners are pioneering research in climate adaptation, greenhouse gas emissions reduction, livestock, wildlife interactions, and ecosystem restoration. Ladies and gentlemen, as you engage in meaningful discussions this week, I encourage you to also explore the beauty of Kenya with its exceptional diversity. Nairobi is the only capital city with a national park, home to lions, rhinos, and giraffes, just a short drive from your hotel. The Masai Mara, Amboseli, and Tsavo national parks offer breathtaking landscapes and majestic African wildlife. The pristine beaches of Mombasa, Diani, and Lamu provide a perfect retreat for those who are not afraid of water. Adventurers can embark on a hike up mountain Kenya for an unforgettable experience. Let me now conclude by encouraging you to be bold in your ideas, strategic in your partnerships, and ambitious in your actions. You have a great opportunity during this gathering to make decisions that will contribute to Africa's food security. Your insightful discussions, fruitful collaborations, and transformative solutions will help shape the future of food security in Kenya, Africa, and the world at large. Ladies and gentlemen, before I walk off the podium, let me truly acknowledge the erstwhile leadership of Dr. Bangura. She has been a very dedicated leader for the UN family in the Global South, and we really appreciate that. We want to salute you and to say that other than what she has indicated, we are also having some conversation with the UN so that over and above what is in existence, we can also have a humanitarian and logistics hub here in Kenya, linked to Mombasa and to Naivasha to serve the region. We pray and hope and trust that someday that will also come to pass. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Cabinet Secretary Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. No, Prime Cabinet Secretary was talking about the only capital on the planet with a national park in it. He can also recommend a couple of watering holes if you guys are interested later on. By the way, he holds a